I went to therapy because I thought I was losing my mind. My husband called me paranoid. My therapist agreed. She diagnosed me with projection issues and medicated me. Turns out, she wasn't just agreeing with him, she was sleeping with him. And every deep insecurity I whispered in that office, she was texting it to him so he could use it to break me during our arguments. I didn't just divorce him. I reported her to the state licensing board, wired myself for a confession, and absolutely scorched the earth. Here is the full story of how I caught them. I have been with my husband, Brad, for 6 years. For the first 4, he was perfect. But about 2 years ago, the atmosphere in our house shifted. It wasn't physical abuse. It was like the air was slowly being sucked out of the room. I started losing things. My keys weren't on the hook. My wallet wasn't in my purse. I'd swear I told Brad about a dinner date, and he'd look at me with these sad, pitying eyes and say, "Honey, we never had that conversation. Are you feeling okay? You've been so scattered lately." It happened so often that I actually went to a neurologist. MRI, blood work, everything came back clean. That's when Brad sat me down, held my hand, and gently suggested that maybe my problem wasn't medical. Maybe it was psychological. "I think you need to talk to someone," he said, looking like the picture of a supportive husband. I asked around at work, and a colleague recommended a Dr. Vanessa. She's supposed to be incredible with anxiety and memory gaps. I was so grateful. I thought he was saving me. Dr. Vanessa was everything you'd want in a therapist. Elegant, soft-spoken, in her late 30s. Her office was a sanctuary. Beige walls, soft lighting, the smell of expensive sandalwood. I poured my heart out to her. I told her about the keys, the missing conversations, the feeling that I was unlovable. At first, she was validating, but by the 4th session, the script flipped. I would tell her, "Brad yelled at me because I forgot to pay the electric bill, but I swear I paid it." She would lean back, tap her pen against her lip, and say, "OP, let's explore why you feel the need to villainize Brad. He's the one holding the household together while you struggle, isn't he? Is it possible you're projecting your own irresponsibility onto him to assuage your guilt?" It was subtle. It was clinical. She used words like cognitive distortion and paranoid ideation. She convinced me that my gut instinct, the voice telling me something was wrong, was actually a symptom of mental illness. She put me on a path of radical acceptance. Basically, I had to accept that my reality was flawed and Brad's was correct. The breaking point should have been the mother incident, but I was too brainwashed to see it. In a session on a Tuesday, I told Vanessa my deepest, darkest secret. It was about my mother. She used to lock me in the garage when I cried. She would tell me, "You are exhausting. Nobody wants a broken doll." I hadn't thought about that phrase in 20 years. I sobbed in Vanessa's office. She handed me a tissue and looked me dead in the eye. "Thank you for trusting me with that, OP." 2 days later, on Thursday night, Brad and I got into an argument about, you guessed it, misplaced car keys. I started crying out of frustration. Brad stopped yelling. He looked at me with cold, dead eyes and said, "God, stop the waterworks. You are exhausting. Honestly, OP, nobody wants a broken doll." I froze. The room spun. I asked him, "Why did you say that?" He shrugged. "Say what? That you're broken? Look at you. You're a mess." I went back to Vanessa the next week. I told her it felt like too much of a coincidence. She sighed, looking disappointed in me. "OP, that is a very common phrase. You are looking for patterns that aren't there. This is that paranoia we discussed. I think we need to consider increasing your session frequency."
You will not believe how amazing
I believed her.
able to create wall art.
I apologized for doubting her. 3 weeks ago, my car wouldn't start. Brad is a mechanic by trade, and he said the starter was shot, and he'd fix it over the weekend. He told me to take his car to run errands. Brad is obsessive about his car. It's a pristine SUV, always detailed. I hopped in to go to the grocery store. I opened the glove box to look for a pen, and something rolled out from under the owner's manual. It was a lipstick.
The process of making mugs is so beautiful.
Not just a chapstick, a heavy gold and black tube. Tom Ford. Shade, fucking fabulous. My heart hammered in my throat. I don't wear Tom Ford. I'm a drugstore makeup girl. I buy Revlon. This was a $60 tube of lipstick. I drove home, shaking. I walked into the house and held it up. "Brad?" "Whose is this?" He didn't even flinch. He laughed. "Yours, obviously. You bought it at the mall when we went to the city 3 months ago. You said you wanted to treat yourself. You must have left it in there."
You can see, she is totally
"I
free.
didn't buy this," I said, my voice trembling. "I would never spend $60 on lipstick." He rolled his eyes. "OP, seriously, we are not doing this again. You bought it, you forgot. Just like you forgot the electric bill, just like you forgot your keys. Do I need to call Dr. Vanessa? Because you're having an episode." He looked so sure, so annoyed, and for a second, a terrifying second, I thought, Did I buy this and black out? Is my brain that broken? I dropped the subject. I put the lipstick on the counter. He swiped it later, throwing it in the junk drawer. The next day was my therapy session. I walked into Vanessa's office. She was sitting in her leather chair, crossing her legs, looking immaculate as always. "How are we today, OP?" she asked. I started to speak, but then I stopped. I stared at her mouth. She was wearing a bold, distinct red. A red that wasn't quite cherry, not quite brick. It was a rich, vibrant, expensive red. I looked at the table next to her chair. Sitting right there, next to her notepad where she wrote down all my secrets, was a gold and black tube. I felt like I had been doused in ice water. I remembered the shade name. Fucking fabulous. My mind raced back to every session. Every time she defended him. Every time she called me paranoid. Every time Brad used a phrase I had only said in this room. They weren't just gaslighting me. They were playing a game, and I was the toy. I didn't say a word. I smiled. I told her, "I'm feeling much better today, actually. I think the radical acceptance is finally working." I walked out of that office, got into my car, and for the first time in 2 years, I didn't cry. I drove straight to a spy shop and bought 2 voice-activated recorders. If they wanted to play games, I was about to change the rules. The drive home from the spy shop was the longest of my life. I had 2 small black magnetic voice recorders in my purse. My hands were shaking, not from fear anymore, but from a cold, sharp rage. I had to play the part. I had to continue being the broken doll. When I got home, Brad was in the shower. I seized the moment. I slid one recorder deep under the passenger seat of his SUV, stuck to the metal frame where it wouldn't be seen. The second one went behind a row of books in the living room, right near the armchair where he usually takes his phone calls. For the next 3 days, I was an Oscar-worthy actress. I apologized for things I didn't do. I asked him if I had forgotten to lock the door. I hadn't. I let him look at me with that smug, pitying smirk. "You're doing better, babe," he told me, patting my head like a dog. "Dr. Vanessa is really helping you." It took everything in me not to scream. On Wednesday night, Brad said he was going to hit the gym for a few hours. This was his routine. He'd leave at 7 p.m. and come back at 10 p.m., smelling like soap, never sweat. As soon as he left, I waited 10 minutes, then checked the tracker on his phone. He had disabled his location sharing to save battery, a setting he changed months ago. I waited up for him. When he came home, he went straight to sleep. At 2 a.m., I crept out to the garage with a flashlight. I retrieved the recorder from under his car seat. I sat on the bathroom floor with headphones on, pressing play. The first 20 minutes were just road noise and the radio, then the ringing of a Bluetooth call. "Hey," a voice answered. It was her, Dr. Vanessa. Her voice wasn't professional and soothing now. It was husky, intimate. "Hey," Brad said. The tone sent shivers down my spine. It was the voice he used to use with me years ago. "I'm on my way. She's asleep on the couch. God, she's pathetic lately." I bit my knuckle to keep from sobbing. Vanessa laughed. "Did you use the line about the broken doll?" "Yeah," Brad chuckled. "Last week, it crushed her. She was literally shaking. You were right. That childhood stuff is a gold mine." "What did she say in the session?" "Oh, she was a mess," Vanessa said, sounding bored. "She thinks she's having a psychotic break. She asked if she should go on antipsychotics. I told her we should wait, but honestly, Brad, if we get her on meds, she'll be too sedated to notice when you start moving the assets around." "That's my girl," Brad said. "I love you." "Love you too. Hurry up. I bought that wine you like." I stopped the tape. I didn't cry. I didn't throw up. I sat there in the silence of my bathroom, staring at the tile. They weren't just having an affair. They were conspiring to induce a mental breakdown so they could medicate me and steal our assets. This was malpractice. This was abuse. This was criminal. But I knew that audio recordings recorded without consent might be tricky in court, and the licensing board would move slow. I needed to nail them. I needed to prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that she was feeding him information from my sessions in real time. I needed a canary trap. For those who don't know, a canary trap is a method of exposing an information leak. You tell a suspected mole a specific version of a lie, and if that lie leaks out, you know exactly who talked. My next session with Dr. Vanessa was on Friday. I walked in looking disheveled. I wore no makeup. I picked up my cuticles. "I'm just so overwhelmed," I whispered. "Tell me what's going on," she said, leaning in with that fake concern. "It's not just the memory loss," I lied. "It's the stress of this secret I'm keeping. I haven't told Brad, and the guilt is eating me alive." Vanessa's eyes sharpened. "What secret, OP? This is a safe space." I took a deep breath. "My grandmother. You know she passed away last year. Well, I got a letter from her estate lawyer yesterday. Apparently, she had a hidden cryptocurrency wallet she set up years ago for me. It's worth about $50,000. She left the key to me, but she stipulated that I shouldn't tell anyone, not even my husband, until I decide what to do with it." I watched Vanessa closely. She didn't write it down, but her pupils dilated. $50,000 isn't millions, but to Brad, who was always chasing get-rich-quick schemes, it was bait he couldn't resist. "And you haven't told him?" she asked. "No," I said. "I hid the flash drive with the codes in my winter coat pocket in the hall closet. I'm terrified he'll find it and be mad I didn't tell him immediately." "It is important to be honest in a marriage," she said, hiding a smirk. "But we can discuss that next week."
This one goes out to
I went home and waited. I knew Brad's pattern. He usually talked to her on his drive home from work around 5:30 p.m. At 6 p.m., Brad walked through the door. Usually he ignores me or makes a comment about the house being messy. Today, he had a bouquet of grocery store flowers. "Hey, beautiful," he said, kissing my cheek. "I was thinking we haven't had a date night in a while. Why don't I cook dinner?" I smiled. "That would be nice." He made pasta. He poured wine. He was charming, attentive, and sickeningly sweet. Then, halfway through dinner, he started fishing. "So," he said casually, twirling his fork, "I was reading this article about Bitcoin today. Crazy stuff. Do we have any crypto? I feel like we should look into it." My heart stopped. He had never mentioned crypto in 6 years. "No," I said, sipping my water. "I don't think so." He pressed harder. "Are you sure? Maybe your relative left something, or you invested a while ago and forgot. You know how your memory is lately." There it was. He was trying to gaslight me into revealing the lie I had told only Vanessa 3 hours ago. "Why would I have crypto, Brad?" I asked, playing dumb. He looked agitated. "I don't know, OP. I'm just asking. God, you're so defensive. I'm just trying to look out for our financial future." Later that night, while I pretended to sleep, I heard the closet door creak open. I cracked one eye open. Brad was in the hallway, rummaging through the coats. He was looking for my winter coat. He was looking for the flash drive. I lay in bed, listening to him curse under his breath when he found nothing. I had them. I had the recording of them conspiring to medicate me. I had the proof that she violated doctor-patient confidentiality to help him steal imaginary money. The next morning, Brad went to play golf. I didn't cry. I didn't pace. I picked up the phone and dialed the number of the most aggressive divorce and malpractice attorney in the state. I had looked him up weeks ago, but was too scared to call. "This is the law offices of Shapiro and Associates," the receptionist answered. "Hi," I said, my voice steady for the first time in years. "I have a case involving severe medical malpractice, insurance fraud, and a conspiracy to defraud a spouse, and I have it all on tape." "One moment," she said. "I'm putting you through to Mr. Shapiro immediately." It was time to burn their little world to the ground. Mr. Shapiro was a shark. A short, bald man in an expensive suit who listened to my recordings with a look of pure predatory delight.
And it will make all the difference in the end.
"This isn't just a divorce, OP," he told me, leaning over his mahogany desk. "This is a demolition. In this state, a therapist sleeping with a client is an automatic license revocation. But conspiring to cause psychological harm to secure assets? That's fraud. That's battery. We're going to ruin her. We spent the next 2 weeks preparing. I had to maintain the act with Brad, which was torture, but Shapiro told me to keep the recordings running. We captured hours of them mocking me, discussing how to get me to sign a post-nup, and even joking about committing me to an inpatient facility. Finally, the day came. I had an appointment with Dr. Vanessa at 2 p.m. I walked into her office. I didn't sit in the patient chair. I stood by the door. "Please have a seat, OP," she said, gesturing with her pen. "You seem tense." "I'm not tense, Vanessa," I said. I dropped the doctor intentionally. "I'm actually incredibly clear-headed." She frowned. "We've talked about this aggression. It's a defense mechanism." I reached into my purse. I didn't pull out a tissue. I pulled out the Tom Ford lipstick. I set it on her desk with a loud click. Her face went pale. The mask slipped for a fraction of a second. I don't know whose that is. It's shade fucking fabulous, Vanessa. You wore it 3 weeks ago, you left it in Brad's car. She stood up, regaining her composure. OP, this is classic transference. You are inventing a scenario because you are unhappy in your marriage. I think we need to terminate this session. We are terminating a lot more than the session, I said. I pulled out my phone and pressed play. The recording from the car filled the silent office. Brad's voice. "She's asleep. God, she's pathetic." Vanessa's voice. "Did you use the line about the broken doll? That childhood stuff is a goldmine." The color drained from her face so fast I thought she might faint. She slumped back into her chair. Her mouth opened, but no sound came out. I placed a thick manila envelope on her desk. "That is a copy of the formal complaint my lawyer filed with the state licensing board this morning," I said, my voice ice cold. "It includes transcripts of 6 audio recordings, dates, times, and an affidavit regarding the crypto lie you fed to my husband. Oh, and we also sent a copy to your malpractice insurance provider. Good luck getting coverage ever again." She started to cry. Real ugly tears. "OP, please, you don't understand. We fell in love. It just happened. I've tried to stop it." "You didn't try to stop it," I said, walking to the door. "You used my trauma to help him abuse me. You aren't a doctor. You're a predator." I walked out. I didn't look back. I beat Brad home by an hour. My brother and 2 of his friends, big guys who work construction, were already there. They had boxed up all of Brad's things. When Brad pulled into the driveway, he looked confused seeing the extra trucks. He walked in, smiling. "Hey, having a party?" Then he saw the boxes. "What is this?" he asked, his smile dropping. I handed him a large envelope. "Divorce papers." He laughed, a nervous, arrogant laugh. "You can't be serious. OP, babe, you're having an episode. Guys," he looked at my brother. "She's been really unwell lately. She's paranoid." My brother stepped forward, crossing his arms. He didn't say a word, but the threat was clear. "I know about Vanessa," I said. Brad froze. "Who?" "Don't insult me," I snapped. "I know everything. I know about the lipstick. I know you've been sleeping with her for 6 months, and I know you've been gaslighting me to steal my money." Brad's face twisted. He didn't look sorry. He looked furious. "You tapped my phone? That's illegal. You're crazy." "Actually," I smiled, "I tapped the car. It's marital property, and in our state, consent laws are a bit flexible when fraud is involved. My lawyer is very excited to explain it to a judge." He tried to argue, but my brother stepped in. "Time to go, Brad." He left. He tried to take the TV, but my brother blocked him. He left with 2 suitcases and his golf clubs. The licensing board doesn't mess around. With the recordings and the canary trap proof, they suspended her license immediately pending an investigation. The investigation revealed she had been billing my insurance for sessions where she was mostly discussing their affair. That brought in the insurance investigators. Last I heard, she permanently surrendered her license to avoid a public trial. Her practice is closed. Her reputation in the medical community is incinerated. She is currently working as an administrative assistant at a logistics company 3 towns over. Brad tried to fight the divorce. He claimed I was the abusive one. But once his lawyer heard the tapes, specifically the part where he admitted to trying to hide assets, he told Brad to settle. Brad got nothing. No alimony, no split of the house, which I had bought the down payment for with inheritance money before we married. He is currently living in a studio apartment. He tried to reach out to me once, drunk, claiming Vanessa manipulated him. I blocked the number.
What you are seeing.
I won't lie, it was hard. I had to go to a real therapist to process the fact that the two people I trusted most in the world conspired to destroy me. It took a year to stop checking my pockets for keys I hadn't lost. But I kept the house, I kept my dignity, and I found my voice. The other day, I was cleaning out the junk drawer, and I found that tube of Tom Ford lipstick. For a second, I thought about throwing it away. Instead, I put it on. I looked in the mirror. The shade fucking fabulous looked better on me anyway. I took a selfie, posted it with the caption, "Trust your gut," and went out to celebrate my freedom. I just got a letter in the mail. It's a subpoena. Vanessa is being sued by her former partners for damaging the practice's reputation. They want me to testify. I think I'll wear the red lipstick to court.